Hello, everyone. Again, this is me, Nathan Young. I'm the writer of Geek Alabama, and I have a special guest here tonight. This is Jeffrey Leachman. He's been homeless in the Anniston area for a few months now. He's been jobless for almost a little over 3 years, and he still can't find a job. We're doing this video to discuss some major problems in the Anniston area that's not being addressed, and I feel like this is time for a video to be done about this. So Jeffrey, you've been homeless for a while now.
Yeah, about 6 months.
Where you been staying at in town?
Mostly I've been blessed with an automobile, so it's been various parking lots in town. But I've had a few nights when I have run completely out of gas and I've just had to park my car in areas that I just don't feel comfortable staying in. I have basically taken refuge in things like abandoned buildings and behind air conditioner units and just, in the woods sometimes.
Since you're staying sometimes in abandoned buildings in the woods, have you had any encounters with the police?
Yes, we're not in the building so far, but we had an incident in one of the parks where we were getting ready to leave in the morning and we got approached by 3 police officers.
And what did they do?
They searched my vehicle and checked our IDs.
And did they harass you at all?
They were nice and they told me what was going on and they knew really, we were okay. They just needed to do what they thought they needed to do, just to basically. And then they told me, what stuff that was going on, in these parks especially. That there is history of people, drugs and meth, and even people apparently building meth labs in these parks, so, which we didn't know about, and upon knowing about it, I don't want to even go back to these places, so.
Now, you try to get services in this town.
Yes.
And there are some charitable organizations that try to help. What's been your experience with some of the services that helped homeless in the Anniston area?
Well, first of all, the food service is excellent. That is the one thing we excel at. Pretty much you can get food stamps, that's one. You do not have to have a address to have food stamps. If you have a P.O. box, then of course it'd be easier to get your card. But, you can get food stamps, that's easy, number one. Number two, we are blessed in Anniston here to have a soup kitchen.
Yeah, it's a
soup
kitchen.
Soup Bowl. It's on Moore Avenue, basically 15th Street right now. However, the construction has just began on the new location on 15th. That'll be soon. Monday through Fridays, 11:30 to 1. Again, the gap there being the weekends. They're hoping to address that when they get their new location.
Okay. How about housing for homeless people?
Non-existent. There is one shelter in town for dire emergencies, Salvation Army. But unless you have $10 a night or something, or whatever it is now, forget it. And most people don't have it.
So most people are sleeping in abandoned buildings or in the woods at night, or sleeping in their car in a parking lot because the Salvation Army charges people.
Exactly.
And, that's kind of a big problem in this town.
Exactly. That's the big issue. I mean, and also to think about, like, there's a lot of commercial buildings abandoned, that could easily be converted into makeshift homeless shelters. I mean, it could be done with little cost to the cities or agencies that are willing to step up. I mean, because you really don't need a lot, just, water, restroom facilities and heating and air.
Probably a little security too.
Little security. I mean, most people like me would probably be fine with just sleeping on blankets, I know, but, and people would be fine with that. Just, it could be done with little cost, and there's a lot of commercial space in this town where it can be done. And I honestly believe a group of agencies, because the Soup Bowl is actually a coordination of various churches in Anniston area, and I believe something like that could be set up for a homeless shelter.
So Jeffrey, you've been searching for jobs in the Anniston area, the Gadsden area, the Birmingham area, the Atlanta area. How's your job search been going?
Well, basically, just to make a long story short, I moved out here about 1.5 years ago, November 2011, from the Atlanta area. After I had some personal, I lost my father, and fresh start. And I come out here okay. I figured, the economy was starting to rebound then because jobs. I applied everywhere immediately, pretty much when I got them. And I got out here, and I really didn't hear anything. Now, since that time, year and a half, the area has had, the depot, there's been downsizing at the depot, and the chemical activity is now gone from this town. The chemical weapons are gone. And those jobs are now gone. And then, of course, you have the support industries, which get affected by that. So you lose everything, and then it just trickles down. And pretty much the whole time, it's just been bad out here.
I know some employers will view candidates based on their looks.
Yeah.
And can you open your mouth and show the camera your
Yeah, I
teeth and all that?
have basically, basically my teeth are rotted out.
And some employers do based on their hires on looks.
Exactly.
It's been proven before. And
Number one, yeah.
And another thing some employers look at is your looks and the way your views on some topics like homosexuality.
Yes. First of all, let me just say this, that I am perfectly straight, okay? People do perceive me as gay, and I've had guys come up to me and I just basically tell them, no, I'm straight. Basically, I'm into different things than a lot of people, men. Men are like into loud rock music or into country, and my three favorite artists are Kelly Clarkson, Katy Perry, and Cashmere.
And, I like listening to that music too.
Yeah.
But, you're wearing a Keisha shirt right now.
Yeah.
And you really love these three artists.
I do.
You have t-shirts of all of them.
I saw Kelly Clarkson four times last year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you really love your female artists.
Yes.
And you like to do karaoke in a lot of places around the Anniston area. And that's what you mostly sing about.
A lot, not always, but that's the thing that got started, and people have people have enjoyed it. And then what gets me to what I wanted to say is this: there's a lot of people that are different, that have different interests, that are different. You don't have to be into rock music, be this white male model looking guy to get hired. You should be who you are. You could be black, Mexican, Indian. You could be into classical music. Whatever. That shouldn't discriminate. You shouldn't be discriminated against hiring based on that. People should look at you for your qualifications. What can you do? What your employment history. And I know, unfortunately, that hurts. That hurts a lot of people. But, I would rather look at that than look at your looks. And another thing, too, that needs to be said, it's been 3 years since my last job. Employers should understand the economic situation and just understand that, maybe I've had a hard time looking for work because of the economy. And just just don't look at the person being unemployed or having so many jobs, in a certain period of time, and look at them negatively and just throw their resume in the garbage can.
And you have a master's degree in IT from Kennesaw State. And you still can't find a job.
Still around here. Nope.
That's pretty bad, isn't it?
It's horrible.
So, Jeffrey, you've talked to a lot of people that are homeless in this city, in the Gaston areas, and a lot of people come to East Alabama thinking there's going to be a job and a cheap place to live. Apparently that's not the case. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, I can. I was talking with somebody today at one of the local churches. They said a lot of people do end up in this area just based out of frustration as they're fleeing wherever they're at in the country, and they don't end up in Birmingham, they don't end up in Atlanta, they just end up here. And I guess I would tell them, they probably don't know, but this is not a prosperous area. This area is going to be in trouble. And the thing is, 2015, when there is going to be the BRAC committee, the Base Realignment and Closure Committee, is going to be meeting in Washington, and they're going to close bases. And now that the chemical activity is gone in Anniston, I think the base is closing. And
so your message to anyone that's considering moving here is to avoid this area.
I do want to say say this. This is the best area I've ever lived in. I've been blessed the past year and a half to call Anniston home. And as an area, I'm still going to be blessed with these friends. And my advice would be, unless you're attending school at Jacksonville State or
Gaston State.
Or Gaston State, or anywhere, or you're being assigned here for whatever reason, and you're going to have a job, I would say look at the larger metro areas, look at the college towns, and those would probably be your better bet. Because, yes, Jacksonville is a college town, it's up the road.
But their employment situation is not as great either.
No, it's not really, it's because it's odd out here, but, but a college town with a large college is what I'm talking about, like Auburn, Tuscaloosa, because I know the auto industry's hiring, and the bigger cities.
If you could find something.
Yeah,
If they did.
that is true.
To the city leaders of Anniston, I have talked with them. I've talked to the mayor and city council, and so far I've not heard an answer from you guys. And this is a big reason why I'm doing this video right now, because something has got to be done to help people suffering in the Anniston area, the Gadsden area, the Alexander City area, pretty much the whole East Alabama area. There is a big problem in this area, this part of the state, and nothing seems like the leaders right now are sweeping this under the rug. So, Jeffrey, if the leaders are watching this video right now, what would you like to say to them?
First of all, I like to say this is not just Anniston, but the leaders of Oxford and all the surrounding communities. This is a real problem. And we know basically, that there's just people that get down on their luck. It's not any fault of their own. You hear about the homeless, they're there because of alcohol and drug abuse. Yes, they are there, but there's just a lot of people that have just lost their jobs or, in an economic situation. First thing I tell them is just don't look down upon the situation. Don't look at these people and say, oh, they got a problem. And just say, screw it, and, they ought to be locked up or anything. No. Try to, let's just have some resources here in this town to help them, first of all. We got the food thing covered, but there's, got to get assistance for other things. Like, for example, gas money, because if the homeless that do have cars, like me, are going to be in need of gas money. We don't, because basically we don't have gas, we don't look for jobs. That's one thing we can do. Second of all, I'd say everybody does need to work together. Like Anniston, Oxford, all the cities in Calhoun County need to come together as one to talk about the problem.
And I would say the whole region.
Exactly.
Like Gadsden, Alex City, Silicaca, not just the
borders shouldn't define anything in this situation because, maybe, like, say, for example, if Gadsden has something Anniston doesn't have, something could be, it can be worked together, we can learn from each other, and something can be worked out. So basically, the things I'd say is just understand what's going on, that they're not faulty, these are not faulty people, and that we can work with the stress, the problem. And another thing too is let the law enforcement show compassion. Don't, just understand the situation, just try to help, just, don't harass the homeless. Just, if there's understand if there's a problem, if it's a building with a drug problem or something, but just try to work with everybody and just don't threaten to take them to jail. Don't take them to jail. Just try to work. Just try to figure something out. Honestly, I believe this all could be done. I believe, to be honest with you, the model city of Anniston could be the model city for homelessness if it chooses to do so. That remains to be seen.
So, what's your next step after tonight?
Tonight, I really don't know at this point. I'm just going to see where things go. And just, like I said, I do want to say this, that I do want to stay here, but I seriously don't see my future here. I'm hoping God will change that in some way in the next short term. But right now, I just don't see it. I do see something happening, but it's not going to be around here.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
To the leaders of the East Alabama community, like Anniston, Oxford, Gadsden, I'm going to keep talking about this on the Geek Alabama blog. There is a serious problem of joblessness, homelessness, people being poor across all of East Alabama, from Alex City, Silicaca, Oxford, Anniston, Gadsden, Rainbow City, Glencoe. Albertville, you name it. There is a big problem in this part of the state and nothing has been done. So yes, I will keep talking about this. Hopefully our leaders in the cities and counties in East Alabama will do something to fix this. So thank you all for watching this video. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.